Gentlemen, some of you are having a hard time finding the GD010. It's not available on Amazon anymore. I have not been able to find it on Amazon. For a while, it wasn't available on Amazon. It was actually one of the Japanese imports. But the GD010 is one that you do not want to miss out on, okay? Because, they made this for us. Like I said before, you know, big, huge numbers, clear screen, just a basic rugged watch. I mean, the only thing that's missing that we wanted to see was the multi-band 6. Not available in the GD010, but it's relatively inexpensive. I bought this one for about $100. Okay, so I mean, yeah, it's missing multi-band 6, but good price. Okay, and like I said, not on Amazon. All right, I bought mine from G-Shock because I need those G-Shock points, and I like not having to worry about proof of purchase if there is a warranty issue. And yes, I have had warranty issues on my G-Shocks. The Rangeman GPR H1000. You guys remember it has this problem. I had to send it back. I'm gonna have to send it back again. All right, it's kind of acting up in the band. All right, but for the past couple days, I've been wearing the GD010, and I like it a lot. I like it. I've made videos about how it fits kind of awkwardly, but it's not at all uncomfortable. Just just fits. It fits different. I explained it through a couple of different videos. Go back and see the discussion. Look in the comments and see what other guys are saying. Kind of bows out in a weird way. Okay, so Jim Rose was a huge fan of the GD010. I wrote down his comment right here. He said that he absolutely loves the GD010 and the legibility is off the charts. And he challenged me to a 10-year follow-up to see, in 10 years whether our GD010s are still ticking, right? So no, what do you call it? Solar charging on the GD010. It goes off the battery, but that's a 10-year battery. There's a lot of other G-Shocks that, they don't have the solar, but they have like a limited battery. I guess this is one of them, right? This is the GBD 500. Doesn't fit me at all. Well, I can get it in on the last notch, but not really good enough. Okay, so some of these battery-powered G-Shocks, the battery only lasts 2 years. And here's an example: the GA 2100. All right, and so 2 years, I'm gonna have to pop open the back, replace the battery, which for me is not a big deal. The whole process of changing the battery. And remember, guys, I got this mod box from Klein Tools. It's like an electrician's set. More and more electricians have to work on electronic things. So it has all these little bits that go into this driver, and I was like, well, these will also work on my G-Shocks, and that was a rationalization to purchase this. When I walked by it, I saw it at Lowe's. Lowe's, Home Depot for chicks. But anyways, I really like this little mod box set. But in a couple of years, I'll have to be changing the battery to the GA 2100. Okay, it'll be a full 10 years before I'll have to change the battery on the GD010. And at that point, I guess my youngest son Donald will be playing football by then. You know, that's how I keep track of time. Is uh, what age my kids will start playing football or whatever. Janta says, nice, finally caught alive. What's your opinion on the Rangeman still being superior to the newest Mudman, your current favorite? The Mudman is still my favorite. The GW9500. This is what a G-Shock's all about. Absolute toughness. I mean, I'm just amazed at how durable it is. Everything I've thrown at it. And you can see it's kind of dirty. That's from wearing it. All right. And the Rangeman, are you talking about you're talking about the Gen 1 Rangeman? Yeah, I think that the GW 9500 is more durable. All right, we can do a quick comparison here. Just kind of hold them up so you can see. And the Mudman's more svelte. The Rangeman sticks out uh, further from your wrist. And so I think that what really makes the Mudman more durable is his hard plastic wings. There's discussion online, some rare cases where this lug system on the Rangeman GW9400 has broken. And I could see that happening because, the way that it's secured under the bezel, it's like a hooded lug. It could break. But I don't feel like the Mudman, the whole lug system would break. It has these hard plastic wings. I think that's what makes this more durable. And there's other finer points like that's the filth is easier to wipe off the screen of the Mudman compared to the Rangeman. Now, if you're comparing the Mudman to the actually, I haven't made an actual video about comparing these two, and I got to write that down. I'm going to use my Right in the Rain metal readiness pen. For those guys who don't know, I have another Right in the Rain pen. Isn't the metal readiness pen. This is the mini bolt action pen. Okay, so it's smaller, it fits in your pocket better, and it does not have a glass breaking tip, which is also better for your pockets. All right, the metal readiness pen, it's over there in my duffel bag. It can bust a hole in the pockets. All right, it's a beautiful pen. I love that pen. Favorite pen. The bolt action pen is a good option. And since it's smaller, it's going to fit in your chest pocket, your pants pocket, anywhere. And the pocket clip is burly rather than beastly, but it's still a very good pocket clip. You could wear this on the pouch of your hoodie. But anyways, all right, we have to write down. We want to do the 9400 versus the 9500. Like these are videos I got to make. So upcoming vids. I have to write that down. Remind me. And this is a Right in the Rain little notepad. And by the way, guys, this stuff, a lot of this stuff is available on my Amazon shop. All right, I have an Amazon shop. I'll leave a link below later on. It's in the description of a lot of my videos, my shop. And if you guys are interested in any of this EDC gear, such as the mini bolt action pen, this lanyard I put on myself. I believe this lanyard was from like a tag on some, like I think it might have been on an Ariat work jack, but it's just a paracord. The metal readiness pens come with lanyard loops, but this lanyard is not included. I added this, but I really like the lanyard loop because if you don't want to rely on the clip, you can just push it in your pocket, and then when you pull the pen out, you just grab it by the lanyard. But anyways, upcoming video will be a comparison, actual comparison, where we put the 9400 against the 9500. I'm pretty sure I've not made that video yet. In discussing the 9400, I did make a few little references to comparison, but I had to pause. I had to say, wait, hold on. We're gonna have to do an upcoming video. Brian CLXT says bowling and watches. Much love from Denver. All right, that's great. Great to hear from you from Denver. I bet you get really good multi-band 6 reception up there if you have that on your watch, such as the GW. What's this one? The GW 6900. I gotta check. I can't even remember. GW 6900 has that multi-band 6, and the station that broadcasts the multi-band 6 signal is nearby to Fort Collins. All right, so up in Denver, your watches probably sync first try. And Floyd Kua says, where is your GBD H2000 made from? The GBD H2000 is here. Denise had been using it. All right. So Denise, we made a review video because Denise had been using the GBD H2000, and her verdict was that it was too big. All right. She hurt like the bone that's right here, and I think it's because she like sleeps with the watch, and she resting her head on her arm, like it squished the watch, and it kind of left a bruise, right? Kind of sore. So she liked the functionality of the GBDH 2000, but found it to be too big. All right, so she's not wearing it anymore. And the real bad news from this situation is that she's gone back to wearing her Fitbit. All right, and so we'll follow up. We'll follow up more about that, and we have to discuss more about the GBH 2000 for smaller wristers because it was a commenter. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, and I can't check because it's on my phone. But he was saying his wrist is a little bit bigger than 6 inches, and he's still wondering if he should get it. And I think the thing is that, like, I would like. I mean, Denise didn't like it. I mean, she's a female, which is taken into consideration because with a female, it's not just the size of your wrist. It might be maybe your bones are more dainty or something. I don't know. But if you're a fitness enthusiast, uh, the whole dynamic of a men's wrist might be a little bit different. For the same diameter. Uh, and I think that we just have to do some more experimentation. I'll find if one of my sons has a 6 inch wrist, and we'll have him try out on the GBH 2000. Maybe get another perspective, okay? Because I think it's fantastic in terms of fit. I love the way it fits. Really comfortable watch. And where is it made from? Well, if you want to know where it's made, uh, it says made in Thailand. All right. Janta says, pro tip, wrap or hang your watch on something metal like a metal pipe or popcorn to boost signal and receive multiband 6 reception. If you can't get a signal, works for me. All right, well, there you go. That's a good idea for like testing it out. Like, put it, make it like a satellite dish, right? And to do it expertly, we'd have to find out what the wavelength is of the signal from WVWW and then, uh, fashion that satellite dish in such a way that we can make sure that those radio waves are getting all over your watches that do have that multiband 6, right? So we'll try that out. I am a ham radio guy, so I need to know a few things about antennas. Let me get my ham radio. I have I have a Yaesu. I think the batteries are dead, but I got a Yaesu. This is the WF. Forget the model number. It's been a little while since I've turned it on. W. It's number 5. I don't remember all the numbers, but it's 5. See, it's a little dirty. So I can pick up the multi-band broadcast on this. Like when you listen to it on a regular radio, there's like a voice that's like saying the time. All right. Uh, Prad app Upadaya says, I have the GBD 2000. Please show your first G-Shock and your favorite G-Shock. All right, sir, here we go. First G-Shock is the GXW56BB. All right, and it's huge, right? Really big strap. The first watch I ever put on, and I'm like, wow, this fits. I'm not on the last notch. I wear it. I think it's like on notch 3 or 4, and this is the first one that I got. I did buy one before this. It was the GW5610. I tried it on. It didn't fit. That's the one that my son Philip wears now. But this is my first one. My favorite G-Shock is, some of you may be surprised to hear this, Mudman GW9500. This is what a G-Shock is all about. Very durable. All right. Pratap Upadhyaya. Sorry if I said your name wrong. He has 5 G-Shocks. Well, that's quite a collection, sir. That's great. And which ones do you have? I don't know if you want to like write them all down or whatever, but I don't know if we have any of the same G-Shocks, but that's what's going on here. All right, so I did bring out the King, and you notice the King is dead. So Philip Lahell had this great idea that we could do a video where we bring it back from the dead. All right, and I was not able to make it this week on account of the work schedule. I was working, pulled a few shifts at night. All right, so that was kind of a monkey wrench into the whole bringing the king back from the dead. But we need to make that one. So I think someone suggested to call it Revive the King. Revive the King. So the upcoming vids, we'll have to do that video where we bring the king back from the dead. Floyd Kua says his wrist is more like 2.2 inches. I feel so small compared to your wrist. Floyd, you got to measure it around. All right, measure the diameter. Get like a tape measure or whatever, and measure around your wrist. I don't think it's 2.2 inches. You might be measuring like the diameter. We want the circumference. Is that what I said? Did I say that earlier? The circumference of your wrist. All right. Janta says, nice, man. I also wanted to say, keep your solar G's alive with LED lights. Keep them under a light and they'll stay at high charge. All right, yeah, I think, that is a possibility. It's just, it doesn't fit into my lifestyle because, I travel a lot. And so that's why I keep them in the box, is so that, close the box, get the lid, grab and go, put all my G-Shocks in case, I need to make a video. I know that if you start and end your day at the same spot, I mean, it does make sense to put your solar charging watches in a window or under a light or whatever. It's not possible for me or for my lifestyle. All right, Ralph is checked in. Ralph, better late than never. It's good to see Ralph Reinhardt here. How are you doing, sir? Well, I hope it's Friday and it's a full moon, right? And speaking of full moon, we have the Casio WS700. Look at the moon phase right there. It's blank. That means it's a full moon. Okay, a little bit confusing, right? Because it's blank. You'd say, oh, the moon. Like if you go outside and look at the moon, you'd be like, oh, the moon's blank. It's a new moon. But on this watch, like when the moon is blank, meaning none of the little LCD segments are lit up, that's a full moon because it's supposed to look white like a full moon. Okay. And so the WS700 is cluing us in to the full moon. And, well, guys, I have an important message for all of you. Watch out for werewolves. Okay? If, if you live in a werewolf infested area, you'd be a fool to not have a watch that would at least warn you of the full moon. And the WS700 by Casio is one watch that does it, and it does it in style. Look how nice this thing looks. All right, you have all these little details, all this writing around it, right? Really crisp, really clear, really clean, well organized, well laid out, but it still has so much information right there on the screen, okay? Because not only do you have the time, you have the moon complication and a tide graph. And then you have to look closely. But can you gentlemen see that there's little analog hands, little LCD analog hands on this complication, which is like a regular watch. So when you're on the main time screen, these two times will coincide, be the same. And you go to different functions, and that little analog watch hands, they start performing differently. They'll clue you into different aspects. Like this is a stopwatch, so it's going to fill in that complication on the timer. The exact opposite. It'll be ticking down, right? You see it tick away up there. And it looks really cool. This watch, I believe this one is available on Amazon. If it is, I'll leave a link in the description after I publish this live stream. But like I said, if you go to my Amazon shop, I'm trying to get all the good watches on Amazon together in a list, because on Amazon you have you can make a store, and it's not anything that I'm selling. It's just videos and links pertaining to items that are available on Amazon. And not all these watches are available on Amazon, but the WS700 is one of them. It goes in and out of stock, like this color. There's two other colors to this WS700. So if you see it available, you see it at a good price, and you're interested in it, I would suggest buying it because, they can go out of stock, as we saw the GD010 not available on Amazon anymore. At least it wasn't this afternoon last time I checked. But you can get this at Casio. I also purchased this one from Casio, even though like you don't get any G-Shock points for Casio watches. I still bought it from Casio, uh, just at the time that was the only place it was available. All right. So Pradap is letting us know what watches he has. The GA110, uh, the Japanese-made 5600 TB-4 red. And that was a gift from his wife. And now he's saying, suggest me a good white G-Shock. Well, I don't know if any of you guys saw, but G-Shock released those Dodge watches, the Dodge special editions, right? I think that I'll make a video about it this weekend, because it's a follow-up video to my last one where I was screaming about how I loved owls. Do you guys remember that? I was just yelling about how I loved owls. It was very unhinged, but that's like, it was a high IQ rant, a high double-digit IQ. I love owls, right? I also love dogs. Well, no sooner had I said that, G-Shock has released a special edition dog watch, one of which is white. Okay, and I think it's their 6900, so it'll be a watch like this but white. All right, I can't look on the internet now. There's 3 of those Japanese dogs, the Shibu whatever. Does anybody remember how to say that name? Like Dodge, like the Dodge coin, right? What is the name of that breed of dog? Like the Japanese hunting dog. Apparently they're pretty vicious. They look cute, but they're really vicious. So I might include that in the video that's upcoming. Speaking of which, let me write that down. Dodge. I may not be saying it right. That coin that Elon Musk was shilling. Dodge watch, right? The Dodge watch. There's 3 of them. One of them is white. So, Pradrap, if you're looking for a white watch, look at the G-Shock website, and I think that they'll have a white one. See if you like that one. All right, and if any of you other gentlemen out there have any recommendations, leave them in the comments. All right, David lifts heavy circles has checked in. He says, "What's up, guys? How are you doing, sir? Did you get your workout in today? Did you lift any heavy circles today?" Frederico's checked in. How are you, sir? And Ralph Reinhardt says, "Thank goodness it's Friday. I am well. Just scored a WS1500H Illuminator. Great watch. It's almost a G-Shock." I believe that one is very similar to the WS1700. Am I wrong? Is the WS1500, is that the Casio Royale? Hernia repair surgery. Oh man, that's brutal. All right. Well, I hope that you get better. Back at it in a week. All right. Yeah, I guess you're taking an aggressive approach to getting back in the gym. All right. Well, I hope you get better, David. That sounds brutal. Hernia repair. Ralph Rosa has checked in. How are you, sir? Eduardo. All right. Eduardo's letting us know. Shiba Inu is the breed of the dog. All right. So they're like a cute Japanese dog, but apparently they're vicious. They're like jerks. They're absolute jerks. But they look so cute that, that it's like they're popular on the internet or whatever. And G-Shock has 3 watches that are themed the same way as that dog. And I believe one of them is white. Yes, Ralph has confirmed that the WS1500 is similar to the WS1700. And if you get these Casios at a good price, I mean, stock up. That's kind of my motto. I mean, look at all mine, right? And Sashith Rao, he has a bunch of watches. He has a pretty big collection, and he was telling me that The GD010 was available in his country for like $80, and he passed up on it. Now he's kind of regretting it, right? And it's really tough, when you have a lot of watches, you can't really get them all. We all have a budget we have to stick to. But I found room in my collection for the GD010. It's just such a basic, really cool watch. And I found room for the WS1700. So those are a couple of watches that, even though I have so many, these are two that I would want to have room for. They aren't the most often worn, aren't the most preeminent watches, but these two are ones that I like to have, right? I think they're really cool. And so, I mean, I'm sure that you guys who have multiple watches know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I don't even think that these are in my top five. I'm going to make a video about the top five, and that reminds me, I better write it down in my Write in the Rain notebook. Top five G-Shocks, according to me. All right. Ralph Reinhardt agrees. It is addicting. You get all these watches, like eating potato chips. You can't just stop at one. All right, so the Rangeman, I'm gonna have to take some action on this one because the screws are loose again, and I wasn't even wearing it. My oldest son was wearing it for a while, and they got loose. And then my middle son, when my oldest son went to college, he left the watch, and he left the watch at the house. And then my middle son Brian picked it up. And Brian's very handy, right? He can fix anything. And so he had to repair the screws periodically while he was wearing this watch. And I think that's a shame. I mean, it would be cool to tell Brian, like, hey, go ahead, wear the Rangeman GPR H1000, tell me what you think. The problem is, if the screws are falling out, I don't want the watch to fall off and get lost. So I'm going to have to get in contact with Casio and take some action on this one. Since it's already been back for a repair once, maybe ask for a replacement or a refund or something. T-Bone T checking in. Mudman GW 5500 is number one for sure. I think that he meant to type GW 9500. Is there a GW 5500? I think that the Mudman started at the G9000, which really crazy. I don't know how many you guys saw in my last video. What was in the last video? It was a couple of videos ago. The G9000 is still available on the G-Shock website. The G9300 sold out. The G9000, which is older, is still available. Right? They had it on sale for Veterans Day. So my war chest is depleted. So I can't really make any discretionary purchases of watches, but very tempted to get the G9000 just to have it. All right, Eduardo is asking, what is your favorite, Mudmaster or the new Rangeman, and why? The Mudman is my favorite because it is absolute tough. It is durable. It is what a G-Shock is all about. Absolute toughness, right? The new Rangeman, I was really excited about this one because previous to owning this, what I would do is I would wear the Mudman to work because it's durable, and then when I got off work and go to the gym, I would wear the GBDH 2000. I was a little bit hesitant to wear the GBDH 2000 to work on account of it's a fitness watch. It's not like the most durable, you know. I mean, I'll cut a little bit of slack in the durability department because of its use case, which is fitness, right? And so when the Rangeman came out, I was like, oh, this is the best of both worlds. This is like the combination of the Mudman and the GBDH 2000, but in practice, it's just not as tough as the Mudman. All right, David Rivera says, I want to scale down my watch collection soon, maybe like a 3 G-Shock F91W and a nice analog. That sounds like a really good idea. Like you get 5 watches. Like I agree with that. That's a good idea because like I'm kind of the same way. I got oh no, where is it? I do have one nice analog. I call it my church watch. The only time really I get dressed up is going to church. I have it in here actually. Put it in here to protect it. from falling. Like if it were to crash into the box too much, I think it would get dinged up. Like you can imagine if it was all in there, it's getting shaken up all the time, it'd probably get really scratched up. And if it was like bangs onto there, it gets scratched. So what I do is I actually ensconce this GM 2110D into it's nested in bags just to keep it from getting dinged up or smashed up or scuffed or banged. Where'd it go? There it is. Anyways, this I the more I wear this, the more I like it. The GM 2110D, the navy blue, and it's as a secret, it's not metal all the way through, but $300. I mean, for me, this is a nice analog, right? So my 5-watch collection would be this would be on it, right? This is a preview of an upcoming video. The next one that would be on it, of course, would be the Mudman, right? And then I would actually put on the GBDH 2000 because of fitness reasons, right? I lost a lot of weight. I used to weigh 300 pounds. I'm down at around 260 now. I bottomed out at 255. I got down to 255. People were calling me skinny, and some of that weight came back because my gym burnt down. I don't know if any of you guys saw the video. My gym burnt down. It was horrible. And the worst part was some guys were cracking jokes about, burning calories. It was just too soon. It was just too soon to be joking about my gym burning down. So anyways, I gained a little bit of weight back. I got to find a new gym, and I have been trying to get some exercise in, walking and stuff. But this is the third watch. Number 4 would be the GA 2100 BCE. I love this Cordura band. All right. I just it's like the best combination of a rubber, like a resin band and a cloth. Because if it gets wet, like if I wear it in the shower and I take it off, dry it, leave it on the counter, it dries really quickly, right? Unlike some other fabric cloth bands that kind of stifling. This one isn't that bad, but definitely not as durable. This one's not on the list. So this would be, what are we up to? 4. So my 5th one, I don't know. I might even put the Rangeman in just to be redundant to the Mudman. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe I'll put in the King. If I had to go down to 5 watches, I think I'd add in the King. I mean, it's kind of redundant to the Mudman, but I think that I would just like to have this one, So that's kind of my 5-watch collection. That's where it's headed right now. But stay tuned for that video. It will be fast-paced. It will be a very fast-paced video. I saw this guy on TikTok, this old boomer, and he has like top 5, online banks. And like he starts talking while he presses record, and then he just lists off the top 5 banks, and then he presses stop. And it's like, it's hilarious. It's on TikTok, right? And you can imagine the comments. Like, bro got to the point real quick, stuff like that. But it's funny. I'm going to try and make a video that's like the same vein as that TikTok guy, where it's like, I'm just going to list the top 5 G-Shock watches as quick as possible and press stop. And that will be the video. So I'm trying to get a record, in terms of like getting through the information as quickly as possible, right? And maybe it will ingratiate me to the whole, the younger generation that supposedly has a short time or attention span, right? All right, Janta says I highly suggest getting a G9000. All right, well, we got to get some money together, but yeah, it sounds like Janta is a G9000 enjoyer. David Rivera does like the GM 2110D's navy blue face. That's what everybody voted for. I put it up to a vote. I had that community vote. I was like, what is the best color of these watch faces? And I thought it would be silver. Like what jumped out to me was silver because they have like a silver color. I thought it would look cool. It would look like you're just wearing like a metal bracelet. But like everybody came out in full force. And to say that the only valid color of this watch series is navy blue. And so I was like, all right, well, you guys make a very powerful and convincing argument. So I got the navy blue, and guys were right. Okay, so this watch, the indices are faceted, right? So as you move the watch, you get bling, right? And the bling pops. Okay, so I'm using a couple of zoomer terms. I hope none of you boomers got lost. Bling is just like sparkle, and pops means that there's a high contrast, right? There's a high contrast between the watch face, the navy blue face, and those indices, and I think it looks terrific. And that those facets on the indices are not on other G Steel watches, certainly none that I've seen. So this is unique. It's only $300, and like I said, it's not metal all the way through. The case is plastic, but it's like it has a metal facade. Right? All these watches that look like this have have a metal bezel. Even if the case is bezel, the metal is still bezel. So my I'm happy that I got this $300 watch, right? Some of us people were saying that it's too expensive. I'm not saying that $300 is cheap, but given how a lot of these watches cost as much as they do, like this one retails for $500, that I don't think that this is too bad, right? I went over it in a different video where I asked if $300 was too much, and so the conclusion was no. I think it's a pretty good deal, and obviously you can get it for cheaper. Pull that trigger, right? What is Black Friday going to have in store for watch sales? Well, Lord willing, I'll be there. In fact, I think I'll take the day off from work, and I will be scouring for deals on Black Friday and relay them all to you. I already have a preview. I was given a preview of what G-Shock is offering for Black Friday, and it is a watch very similar to this one. All right, the watch. Now, this may be the first time you guys are hearing this. All right, I don't know if I'm going to be in trouble for telling you, but G-Shock is going to be pushing a huge sale on a watch on Black Friday. It's very similar to this, and I should have wrote down the model number, but it has the big numbers. It's set up the same way. I think it's like the G8900. I can't remember. I can't check right now. I don't even have my ThinkPad. I broke my ThinkPad. You guys aren't going to believe this. ThinkPad, the G-Shock of computers, I broke it. Probably from dropping it from 3 feet above the table onto all my watches, but the ThinkPad is not working, so I cannot check that information. But there is an older watch similar in style to this one. The G-Shock is going to be having like a half off, or there's going to be a huge discount on it. So, uh, that's definitely an option. But the GD010, this watch has multiple time zones. I'm not sure if that other watch does. All right. So anyways, I never want to twist anybody's arm and tell guys what to get. I just want to give you guys information on so that you guys can make an informed decision when you go out there to buy a watch. And so I think that, if you're on a budget and you want a nice looking watch, I think that the GM 2110D is a good one. My biggest problem with it is the clasp, like this little kingpin here and the locking jaws. It's not like super durable, but for going to church, for me, it's fine. Ralph Reinhardt says, "What do you think about the Casio Marlin or Doro watches?" They're on my radar. I think that they're really cool in their simplicity. I was on the live stream, the Real Ideal live stream with Tim Johnson and Paul Whaley, and we were picking out watches for NFL stars, and I picked out the Casio Duro for Bill Belichick because it just has that one crown. I don't even think I have a watch with a crown here, but it's just like a simple watch. You pull out the crown, you set it. There's nothing else to it. It's just really cool, really durable, really cheap. And I thought it kind of embodied the spirit of Bill Belichick pretty well. And so that is my opinion, but I have not personally owned a Casio Marlin or a Doro. So at some point along the line, we'll check it out. But it won't be anytime soon. So I don't think I'll write it down on this sheet, but I'll remind me again in a few weeks. Maybe if we get the war chest built up, we can get like a Casio Duro, see how durable it is, right? Maybe mod the strap or whatever. Janta says King is the toughest in my opinion, especially with the alpha gel. I think you might be right. I mean, I don't want to ruin my watches, but I think that if we like really went to town with durability tests, I think the King could work pretty well. It has the alpha gel. The other thing it has going for it is that the buttons don't move at all, right? So there's no way those buttons are going to fail. Where is the King? The King's dead and buried. T-Bone T, where's the ProMaster Land? How is it holding up? Oh, it should be in here. It should be in here. There we go. ProMaster Land U822. It's holding up pretty well. So I got scratches on the metal body. No scratches on the crystal because it is sapphire. So my first sapphire watch, and I'm really impressed with that sapphire. Overall, I think that this watch is beautiful, and it's got a lot of comments. Like I said, Jeff was like, "Whoa, nice Rolex. What time is it? 10,000." You guys who know Jeff, you know it's like such a typical Jeff comment, right? Well, anyways, it's a really nice looking watch. It's all metal, so it has a tiny bit of heft, but I wouldn't call it heavy at all. The only thing is that like I'm not really convinced that these buttons are super durable. This is not a real crown in the middle. This is just a button made to look like a crown. So there's some like decorations. So I'm not like gung ho about the ProMaster Land U822, but I am happy I got it, because it does look nice. Like it could be a church watch, if you had to, if you like kind of at a more of a like casual dress, right? Because I mean, it looks like a diver with a the resin band, or maybe even like a field watch, right? But I think a lot of it's not. I don't think it's as tough as it looks, and it's not as like functional because like you'd think that with a compass rose that the ProMaster Land had a compass in it, and it does not, right? And so like the most useful function of this watch is the multiple time zones and the chronograph, right? Which you can get that on the GD010, right? And I think that the GD010 is a little easier to navigate around to look at the multiple time zones. For example, right now I have it set to this is the Chicago time zone. Pressing the start button will show me what time the East Coast time is. How many of you guys are on the East Coast? London time. And you guys checking in from across the pond, as they say. And then Paris, I think it's Mr. Rofart is over there in France, right? And so who's checking in from Denver? I'm gonna have to scroll up. Who's checking in from Denver? Brian CLXT. All right. Well, look, my second time zone is set for Mountain Time, so that's what time it is over there. And let me go back to the main time. That's what time it is here in Texas, right? And so that was pretty easy, right? Now to check the different time zones on this one, the navigation is different. You have to, press this button. Again, it's a button, not a crown. And now you have to go up or down, kind of like scroll through the different time zones. And so this is the one we want. And there we go. This is what time it is in Yangon. All right. Shout out to everybody in Yangon. All right. The commenter asked if I was ragging on guys in Yangon, and I am not. Check in if you are in or nearby the Yangon. All right. It is, well, it's 8:23 Saturday morning. You know what? If you're in Yangon, sleep in. All right. Especially if today's your day off. It's Saturday. Sleep in. Have a nice breakfast, nice big breakfast, and just watch this on replay. But just know that we're here thinking about all you guys in Yangon. All right. Anyways, that's just a little bit about the ProMaster Land U822. It does look really cool. I've gotten comments about how great it looks. It looks a lot better. Renee made a comment about it. Renee noticed it, and he was asking me about it. So I'd say it's pretty durable. I think that for most activities, that it's going to hold up well. But I'm kind of extreme in my tough tests, and I have not tested this all the way. I did give it the dirty oil motor oil test, and it still works. So I think that we shouldn't have many problems. I think that the worst problem would be shearing force on the buttons. Okay, but again, we'll test that. So stay tuned for that test. All right. Let me scroll down. All right. A leather strap makes my Duro look like $1,000,000. All right, that's Janta. And yeah, I think that would be a cool idea. I do have one watch with a leather strap. It is a Bertucci. All right. But yeah, I'm just imagining right now with Duro with a leather strap. That would look cool. Rendell, like Denzel, says, can the world time display two different time zones different from the analog hands? All right. I believe that you asked me that in the video, right? The comment. And the reason I haven't replied yet is I was like, I got to sit down and reference the manual, okay? Because I don't want to give you like the wrong answer, right? And so that's why I haven't got back to you yet. But like right now we're in world time, and I don't remember this off the top of my head. You can switch the times, and I think that you have to hold down two buttons or something. All right, so see how they switched. So now the hands are showing what the time is in Yangon, and the LC or the MIP is displaying the time. I'm in Texas. So you're asking if the watch will show two times and a third time on the analog hands, and I'm about 80% confident in this answer is no. Okay, but there's a 20% chance that I'm incorrect. Which really, I mean, how often am I incorrect? Longtime viewers of the channel will have a hard time even thinking of one single instance where I've been even slightly inaccurate with information that I've relayed on my channel. So here we go. So this is the two time zones, right? We get Chicago time zone and Yangon, okay? And to switch it, again, holding down these two buttons, and it switches it. All right, so now the analog hands are showing Chicago time. Can we get a third time zone going? And I do not think so. All right, so I will double check that information and respond to your other comment. You know, if I do find that you can have three time zones, but as far as I know, it's just two. It's just like your home time and your local time, right? So if you traveled, keep your watch set to your home time. When you get to a new time zone, you know, you can swap them. And then if you want to change which time zone is on the analog hands, I just showed you how to do it. Hold down these two buttons, all right? So that's a Yangon time. All right. Yes, Ralph Reinhardt is correct. Jim thought he was incorrect once, then found out he was mistaken. That's correct. The only time I've been wrong is when I've doubted myself, which doesn't happen. All right. So we're going to wrap it up now, gentlemen. I have to get over to the cafeteria before they stop serving supper. I'm over here at the man camp tonight, and I'll just leave you with the same Bible verse I always do, John chapter 14, verse 6. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. And all of you gentlemen have a good weekend, and have a good Friday night, and I'll talk to you guys later.